and have been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Don't wait. Call the Roundup Legal Helpline right now.
America continues to mourn after two mass shootings in El Paso, Texas and Dayton, Ohio last weekend left 31 people dead and dozens more injured. For more on how the two cities are coming together during these very difficult times, let's bring in Deborah Zuloaga, President and CEO of United Way of El Paso County, and Tracy Sibbing, Vice President of Community Impact for the United Way of Greater Dayton. And I want to say to both of you first that I'm very sorry for your loss. And Deborah, I want to start with you absolutely from my heart. How are you, Deborah, able to help out with the emotional healing?
Well, you know, El Paso, as you've heard from a number of individuals from our community, we're a very, very unique community in that we really do come together and work together as a community, and we're very fortunate that we have two strong community foundations who are leading the immediate efforts of support for the victims and their families. Our United Way's role is going to be towards really working on the long-term and lengthy process for our community. So we are working on volunteer support for the community. We are also working on important issues like making sure that all of our out-of-school time programs are receiving tools and curriculums that will help them as they work with the children who are just in the community and really a part of it and feeling the pain of this unspeakable situation. We've also established, our United Way established the El Paso Community Assistance Fund, which will be supporting agencies and the work of the agencies through the lengthy healing process, because we know that this is a ripple effect. It affects an entire community in just a long-term needs.
Yeah, and part of those long-term and immediate needs, Tracy, it's the psychological healing. How are you helping in that regard?
Well, we certainly have a great deal of healing to occur, and our community was still reeling from the Memorial Day tornadoes that devastated so many. Just to be followed so closely behind by this tragedy has created a lot of need in terms of mental health counseling. And the United Way is working with local officials and our amazing nonprofit partners to make sure that we have adequate services and make sure that they're available. Our United Way also has a HelpLink 211 information and referral service that's available 24 hours. And I will tell you that the individuals that work in that department have been answering calls daily from people who not only were impacted by the tornado, but also the victims, the family members of the victims, and even beyond that, the community at large, who is just trying very hard to cope with the emotional toll that this has played. And so we just really encourage everyone in our community and really across the nation to get the help that they need and be really focused as well on self-care and self-love in these very difficult times.
I'm sorry, but indeed, they have to take care of themselves and know that it's okay, you know, to turn. A lot of people want to be strong and hold up for everybody else in the family, and which is great, but you've got to take care of yourself as well. And before I go to my next question to you, Deborah, I wanted to show on the screen some other organizations that are helping out in El Paso and Dayton, and also to any of our viewers, if you want to help out, we're going to post a list of organizations on foxnews.com. And there's that list that I told you I was going to show. Deborah, you know, there's also the physical healing. Are you in touch with any of the shooting victims that are still in the hospital?
We are not in touch with any of the shooting victims who are in the hospital. We have had interaction with some of the individuals who were there and had some needs that we helped out with, but we feel that the healthcare professionals, the mental health professionals are better suited to make sure that the needs of those victims and their families are being met.
No, absolutely. And then Tracy, you know, there is the spiritual aspect to the healing, which I'd imagine you're providing that as well. And before you give me that answer, you know, we're talking specifically about El Paso, Texas, and we're talking about Dayton, Ohio, but this hits in the heart of all Americans. How do we, as a nationwide community, not only process this, but try to prevent this homegrown terrorism from attacking our country again and again?
It's a very difficult question, right, that we're all grappling with and trying to determine what's the best path forward. I think United Ways play a very important and unique role in that one of the things that's kind of a tenet of United Ways across the globe is that we are neutral and we set a neutral table and we invite all people, regardless of political affiliation or religious beliefs, to come together to try to figure out the best path forward and strategies to help individuals and families lead the best life possible. And I think we need to continue to do that work. And if you are not currently engaged in your local United Way, I would encourage you to pick up the phone and see how you can be involved. Our donors, our volunteers, again, are very diverse, and their primary mission for being engaged with United Way is because they care about the communities that they live in, and they want to be a part of making it stronger.
Indeed, this is not a racial issue, this is a human issue. Thank you to both of you, Tracy Sibbing, Deborah Zualaga. Thank you very much. And we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Is that net carbs or total?